engaged. She has a boyfriend.
Well, that's something. Romance at her age.
Now, Montgomery, that's no way to talk. The man is a fine old gentleman. His name is Percival J. Twillingham.
Well, I guess that explains why your dear sister has been so lovey-dovey lately.
Here comes Sister Sue now. I'll be loving you always with a love that's true, always.
All right, now just take it easy there, Anna Maria. My eardrums are throbbing like two bongo drums at a beatnik ball.
Listen, can't you see I'm full of love and happiness? You shriveled up old foof. Yes, Montgomery, Sister Sue's got every right to be happy.
Well, I have some rights, too. I don't like this idea of your sister getting married and bringing another person up here. We just don't have the room.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that, Mr. Generous Claxon. It just happens that Percival has a place of his own. And after we get married, we will live there.
Oh, you gonna live at his place? Well, this puts a delightful new light on the romance here.
What do you mean, Montgomery?
Well, it's not so much that I'm losing a sister-in-law as it is that I'm gaining custody of the spare bedroom. Yes, Calvin, my sister-in-law is getting married. Poetically speaking, the old toad got herself a bullfrog.
You say this Percival, what's-his-name, is taking Sister Sue out to dinner tonight?
Yes, Calvin, me and Maggie Bell hopes he pops the question. It's a chance of a lifetime to get rid of the old gal.
Say, Colonel, I got a full house here. Do I have you beat?
Well, now, let's look at the old rule book here. See what it has to say about that. Let me see here. Full house, full house. Yes, just as I thought. 4 aces beats a full house, Calvin.
Your luck is just unbelievable, Colonel. But tell me something. What are you going to do if Sister Sue leaves? She's been giving you $200 a month for room and board for as long as I can remember. I'd say that she is the suspenders that's been holding up your financial trousers.
Oh, Calvin, she can't cut the money off. You see, she gets $300 a month from her first husband's estate for life. And she promised me years ago when I married Maggie Bell that she'd give me $200 every month.
Boy, this coffee is getting better all the time. So Sister Sue promised you $200 a month. Sort of a dowry, huh?
Let's face it, Calvin, it was a bribe.
Oh, dear me. It's almost 7, and Percy will be here any minute to pick me up. How do I look? Oh, sister, you look lovely. Is that a new dress? Mm-hmm. I just bought it yesterday. It's one of those new scientific materials. You know, that's treated with a chemical so it won't wrinkle.
Yes, it looks good, all right. Too bad you couldn't get those scientists to dip you in the chemical for a few days.
Never mind the cracks, cabbage head. I'll have you... Oh, dear me, it's Percy. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh,
Take it easy there, Sister Sue. I know romance hasn't come into your life for a long while, but you're carrying on there like a bull moose after the first thaw.
Don't let him in, Montgomery, and don't you make any obvious hints about marriage or anything.
Don't worry about me. I'll sneak it into the conversation real subtle-like. Dum-dum-de-dum, dum-dum-de-dum. Come on in, for better or for worse.
Good evening. I'm Percival J. Twillingham. Is Miss Susan ready?
How do you do? I'm her sister, Maggie Bell, and this is my husband, Montgomery.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you. We were just discussing what a wonderful gal Sister Sue would be for some old man. She's a great cook, wonderful scrub woman, got all of her own teeth.
Ah, here she is. Good evening, Susan.
Good evening, Percy.
Beautiful creature, isn't she, Mr. Twillingham? Strong as a horse, too. Lift something for the man, Sister Sue. Show him how...
Well, y'all run along now. We don't want to keep you two kids.
Yes, Susan. If we're going dancing, we'd better hurry.
Dancing, Percival? Oh, how exciting. We'll be waiting up for you when you get back.
Yeah, we'll be sitting right here with a hot water bottle and some horse liniment, so don't hold back. Dum-dum-de-dum, dum-dum-de-dum.
Montgomery, I'm worried.
Oh, it's you, Maggie Bell. Never come in here and frighten me like that. I thought you were one of those monsters out of the Late Late Show.
Now stop that nonsense. It's after 1 o'clock and Sister Sue's not home yet. I hope everything's all right.
Oh, don't worry, Maggie. Maybe she cha-cha-cha'd herself into a Charlie horse. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
Wait a minute, Montgomery. A car just pulled up. Look out the window and see if it's them.
Yeah. Let me take a peek here. It's them, all right.
Montgomery, they're getting out now. Sister's looking up at him. Now he's looking down into her face under that bright light. Oh, I just hope Cupid shoots his arrow at him.
If Cupid's got any sense, he'll shoot out that light. Uh-oh. Now he's squeezing her hand.
What's he doing now?
Just looking down at her, kind of sick-like. Can't say that I blame him.
Look. Now he got back into the cab.
Yes, there he goes.
Here comes Sister. Oh, Montgomery, just think. In a minute, we'll know the news. We've had so many false alarms in the past.
I wish he'd hurry up the stairs. This suspense is awful.
Oh, Sister, Sister Sue, you're panting.
Yes, is that romance or 4 flights of stairs? What is it?
Oh, I've got wonderful news. Percy proposed. Proposed?
Oh, really?
The wedding is set for the 1st of the month. Oh, Susan, how wonderful. But Montgomery, just think, we're losing Sister. Doesn't it make you feel sad?
I'll say it does. I feel just as bad as the lion tamer did when they pulled the Bengal tiger off his back.
Here it is right here, Gloria. I'll read it to you. Colonel Montgomery J. Claxon announces with relief the coming marriage of his sister-in-law, Susan Culpepper, to Percival J. Twillingham.
Well, I guess it's official then, if the Colonel's sending out announcements. What does it say on the other side?
All gifts should be addressed to the bride, care of Montgomery Claxon. P.S. No refunds allowed if wedding canceled. Well, I'll see you later, Gloria, baby. I promised the Colonel I'd help him get his sister-in-law's trunk out of the cellar for the honeymoon.
All right, Calvin. I'll see you later. By the way, what is the Colonel giving for a present?
Oh, he's got a real great gift for her, Gloria.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, he's giving her a fountain pen and a checkbook. How to do?
Say, Calvin, I think Sister Sue's trunk is right down in the cellar here.
Yeah, you go first, Colonel.
All right, Calvin. Now, there's a loose step down here someplace, so be careful.
Tell me when you come to it.
Yeah, I think it's right about here.
Was that it, Colonel?
Oh, shut up and get me off of this thing.
All right. I'm coming. I can't see too well up here.
Get off of me, you big dope. Hurry up.
Colonel, give me some help here.
Okay, now. 1, 2, 3.
You didn't have to bite me.
Oh, quit complaining and start looking.
What's that over there?
That's Maggie Bell's old dress form, Calvin. I can't bear to look at it.
Why? It looks okay to me.
Well, that's just it, Calvin. That's the way her figure really used to be. When I carried it down here to put it away, just putting my arms around the waist brought tinges of the old romance. It made me feel younger than it's safe for a man of my age to feel.
Come on now, Colonel. Grab a hold of yourself. That's no way for a grown man to act. Say, is that Sister Sue's trunk over there?
Yes, that's it, Calvin. Let's get it up the stairs here. Turn on the light, Calvin. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Holy cow, Colonel. That trunk was so old the lid came right off.
Look at all that junk in there, would you? Old clothes, letters, pictures.
Who is this, Colonel?
Oh, that's Maggie Bell's mama. You'd never think, looking at that charming picture of Southern gentility, that she was the first lady bookie in Tennessee.
What's this paper here, Colonel? Looks like some kind of a legal document.
Oh, yeah. That's the last will and testament of Sister Sue's first husband. Let me see here. Yeah, there's a paragraph right there. And to my beloved wife, Susan, I leave the sum of $300 a month for life. However, this bequest will terminate in the event of her remarriage. You see, Calvin, Calvin, are you familiar with that word, terminate, in there?
Well, let's see here. I know what the word exterminate. That's killing bugs. And marinate. That's what they do to fish. If you were a cockroach or a herring, I'd know what to tell you.
Listen, Calvin, there's no two ways about it. If Sue gets married, that preacher is going to perform a double ceremony. He's going to wed her to Percival and divorce me from her room and board money. How are you, Judge? Say, you're really overheated there, aren't you?
Oh, I have an interesting case. My client was arrested for taking a pot shot at his better half, and I have a foolproof defense. I'm going to prove the revolver in question was too old and too rusty to be fired.
Well, that's fine, but the colonel's in a mess.
Well. And what kind of a mess are you messed up in now, my dear Colonel?
Well, I'll tell you, Judge. I had my sister-in-law all set to get married. But I just found out that if she does, that means her income stops. And if it does, that means mine does too. And that means I'm facing a fate worse than death.
How is that?
He might even have to go to work.
Well, then, in that case, the thing to do is perform a premarital fracture of the epithalamium.
What does that mean?
Bust up the wedding.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing, but how? I don't have much time.
Well, suppose your sister's fiancé thought she was still married to somebody else.
Yeah, a thing like that might throw a damper on the romance.
Yeah, get somebody to pose as Sister Sue's husband. But it would have to be just the right person, though. I wonder who we could get to do the job.
Well, perhaps I could secure the proper person for you.
Yeah, I might come up with a counterfeit bridegroom. Let's see now.
Gentlemen, I think we'd be better off if we split up and work separately.
Quite so, Colonel, quite so. But first, the thing to do is draw up a set of instructions for the fellow and tell him exactly what to say. Then he can come bursting into your real estate office and claim to be the errant husband. And, just a moment. It should be done by now. Well, so much for that airtight defense. Now, back to the instructions. Now, here's what the fellow should say. He married this Susan Culpepper in the year...
Now, that's all there is to it, Louis. Think you can handle it?
Sure, Colonel. Glad to help you out. Anything for a fella southerner, you know.
Well, that's fine. Now, remember, you are my sister-in-law's husband.
So you'll do the job for the old colonel, eh, Ernie?
You bet, Calvin. I'll be at the real estate office at 1 sharp.
Good. Now, here's the instructions. You come busting in and say you're Susan Culpepper's husband.
No, just tell him Judge Oliver Wendell Clutch called. No message. Oh, dear me, that's the third person I called that wasn't home. I just know the colonel didn't get anyone else. Well, I guess I'll just have to do it myself. Now, let's see, old boy. The instructions were to dash into the real estate office at 1 o'clock and say...
Listen, Colonel, I don't care if it is 5 minutes after 1. I can't pose as your sister-in-law's missing husband.
You've got to, Calvin. Louis let me down. He's not here.
Well, I can't understand it. Old Ernie promised me he'd be here when I talked to him in the sewer.
Yes, Calvin, and we never did hear from the judge. You gotta do it. This Mr. Twillingham has never seen you, and... That's Percy now, Calvin. Now, look, you are my sister-in-law's husband who has just reappeared after all these years.
But, Colonel...
Let me do the talking, Calvin. Come in.
You wanted to see me about something, Montgomery?
Yes, and now that you two are here, I'd like to present a man who has just come back from the grave.
Pleased to meet you, mister. How long were you dead?
No, you are the rigor mortis gentleman I referred to.
What is this all about?
Mr. Twillingham, this total stranger, who I haven't seen till a few minutes ago, has come here to talk to you about my sister-in-law, your fiancée-to-be.
Oh, is he a friend of Susan's?
Well, he was married to her and had 6 children by her. I would hazard a guess that somewhere along the line they struck up an acquaintanceship.
This man is Susan's husband? Why, I just can't believe it.
It was a shock to us, too, Mr. Twillingham. It seems that she married him 15 years ago in Milwaukee, and they had 6 children.
Well, what happened after that?
Yeah, Colonel, what happened after that?
Well, like you were telling me, total stranger, one night she said she was going down to the corner for a loaf of bread. She left the house and never came back to her husband and children.
Why, that's a terrible thing. What did you do?
Well, after waiting 5 years, I figured she wasn't coming back, so I sent one of the kids out for another loaf of bread.
Well, this is terrible. On the eve of our wedding, another husband showing up?
Greetings, one and all. Is there anyone here named Percival J. Twillingham?
Why, yes, I'm Mr. Twillingham. Who are you?
I am Louis McCormick, the missing husband of your wife-to-be.
Montgomery, here's another one. You say you were once married to Susan Culpepper?
Precisely. I married her in Milwaukee 15 years ago, and we had 6 children.
Good heavens, Montgomery. She has 2 husbands. But how could they both have 6 children?
Those were the instructions.
How do you do? I'm looking for Percival J. Twillingham.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm the husband of Susan Culpepper. What? I married her in Milwaukee 15 years ago, and we had 6 children.
Good afternoon, old boy. I'm Judge Oliver Wendell Beaverbrook. I married Susan Culpepper 15 years ago in London and had 8 children by her.
Children?
You must have thrown away the instructions.
Oh, Montgomery, what a shock. Would you help me outside and call me a cab? I'm going home and lie down. 4 husbands.
Why don't you stick around, Mr. Twillingham? If one more shows up, we can organize a basketball team.
Maggie Bell, is your sister gonna be in there crying all night? We're gonna have to sandbag the kitchen before the water level reaches the cornmeal.
Well, Montgomery, I don't blame her. When Mr. Twillingham called and broke off the wedding, it hit her awful hard. He never wanted to see her again. Oh, Montgomery, I'm all broken up about it.
Now, honey, it's all for the best. I happened to run across a clause in her husband's will that said if your sister ever remarried, her $300 a month would be cut off.
I know that, Montgomery, but didn't you read the next clause?
The next clause?
Yes. It said that in case Sister Sue remarried, the money would go to her next of kin. Montgomery, that's us!
The old colonel has outflanked himself with his own cavalry again.
Calvin and the Colonel has been brought to you by